Discontentment and unhappiness is supposed to motivate you, but you've been tricked by the modern world into thinking that there's a problem with you, that it's a condition, there's a disease, there's something wrong with me. Completely incorrect. When you feel like shit, it's supposed to be warning you that your life is shit and something must change. And it's supposed to inspire you to push harder. I know people who are depressed, but it inspires them to push further. They're like, I don't want this life, fuck this, I'm getting rich. And there's also other people who are depressed who sit there and go, I'm depressed, I don't know why. Because you're broke, because you're fat, because you're a loser. Nobody told you at any point you're supposed to be happy all of the time. You're not supposed to be happy. Happiness is on top of a mountain, and you fuckers ain't earned it. You show me a man who wakes up and says he wants to be happy himself, I'll show you a bitch. Because that's not what you're supposed to do. Because as a man, how happy you are has absolutely nothing to do with how you live your life and how you perform and what you need to do. How happy you are is a pointless measurement, so why do you even measure it at all? I would argue that as long as you're not distraught, as long as someone you love didn't die that day, heaven forbid that happens often, let's say a couple of times a decade, besides those days, you should be happy enough to go to the gym and perform and make your money and do what you need to do. Who gives a shit if you're particularly smiley or not? It's detrimental. Sitting there crying about bad things is never gonna help you. If you're the kind of person who feels like they need therapy, you need someone to talk to make me feel better, do you know what you are? You're useless. Because in the harshest realities of this cold world, there are people in Syria whose entire families have been blown to fuck with a bomb from the sky, who are still getting up every day, making fucking bread and selling it on the streets so they have enough money to buy a new pair of sandals sometime next year. While you're crying about fucking nothing with your first world bullshit to some dickhead therapist who probably does coke on the weekends. Not only is it useless, not only is it not science, not only is it bullshit, it actually makes people worse. The worst thing you can do if you have a problem is sit and fucking talk about it all day. People say you shouldn't bury your problems because if you repress them, that's bullshit. World War II, how many people died? Did everyone sit around and fucking go, oh, we don't have time to rebuild all the cities and create the NHS. We need to sit and fucking talk about all the bad things that's happened. Every single person has a horror story, from Russia to Germany through France, England, America, the Japanese, the Philippines. Everyone has something bad to say. So let's somehow clone the entire population of Earth so we have enough fucking therapists and sit there and talk all day instead of getting shit done. Bullshit. People shut up and they got shit done. There's nothing wrong with fucking having something bad happen to you, internalizing it the best you can, maybe speaking about it with someone close to you, but in general, just shutting the fuck up and getting on with it. Therapy is detrimental.
So when I say I don't get sad, that's what I say all the time. I don't get sad. Because I've had bad shit happening. My dad's died. I've had Bitcoin wallets hacked and lost £250,000. I've had shit go down, bro. But I never, instead of sitting there getting sad, I thought, you know what, Tate, you don't get sad. I was like, you're right, I don't get sad. That's just how I am. My brain's wired to my words. So whatever comes out has to happen. And it's like, I can control my mind in real time. I can literally sit there and think myself out of a sad period in a matter of seconds by just saying the right words. Nah, Tate, your shit gets hard, you work harder. I'll say it and that's it, bam, more work. A lot of people say to me, I'm feeling down, I feel depressed. How do I combat this? How do I feel happy? I've done 2 videos on happiness thus far, and this is my 3rd video on happiness. Here's a key to being happy. You need to understand that time is guaranteeing, sooner or later, that something bad is gonna happen. And that bad thing is either someone you love is gonna die, or you're gonna die. There's no way to escape this reality. Either your mother, father, girlfriend, brother, whoever, the person you cherish most on this planet is going to die, and you're gonna be left grieving, or you're gonna die and they're gonna be left grieving. And both scenarios are bad. They're both terrible scenarios, which are guaranteed to happen sooner or later. My worst nightmare is losing my brother. We even have a policy, we don't fly alone. If the plane goes down, we both die. We literally, my brother doesn't like fast cars that much. He doesn't like car rallies. When I said I'm going to do a car rally, I'm driving for 2 weeks from London all the way to Marbella through the mountains. He goes, I have to come with you. I said, why? He goes, because no one's going to pull you out of the flaming car besides me. Literally, it's our worst nightmares to lose each other. But sooner or later, one of us is going to die. So my key to happiness is this. When you understand this reality, you don't have to have a brother. You can have a father, a mother, a wife, your children. Sooner or later, there's death involved on the human time scale. No one's immortal. When you understand this reality, you start to sit there, and what you should do is wake up each day with a sigh of relief. This is my key to happiness. I wake up, my brother's alive, people I love are still alive, I'm not dead.
And that may sound a bit extreme, but there's a whole bunch of people out there who don't get that luxury. There's a whole bunch of people whose family get murdered, die in a car crash, get a disease, whatever. There are people out there who would do anything to have that feeling that I get each morning I wake up. And that relief sets the tone for my happiness. How can you message me and tell me you're depressed if you're not in that situation? You're gonna have plenty of time to be depressed and to cry your eyes out later, because that situation's coming. Or you're gonna be dead. Maybe you get shot in the head and it's all over. Otherwise, that situation's coming, so you're gonna have plenty of time to be depressed and sad. Why are you doing it now? Over what? Unhappy days are coming, gentlemen. They're gonna come. And if those days are not today, you should be extremely fucking grateful. This is the reality. That sigh of relief is a relief you need to feel. Every day you wake up and you see around you and your family is still alive, you need to be happy. Use that as a base for happiness. How can you email me and say, I'm depressed, I'm sad, when you're upset over some minor bullshit? You're gonna have bigger problems in the future, friend. So you better get the fuck over that. Put a smile on your face, because sooner or later, you're going to be devastated. And if that day is not today, be happy.